My fiance left me for the one that got away. Now he wants me back.
So in a way, now you're the one who got away.
Do you know the way?
It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. My fiance and I had been together 3 years. He was my first boyfriend. We laughed, cried, worried, and were happy together. Our families had mixed really well. Our moms became close friends really fast. He was my best friend, my confidant, my support, my comfort. I looked at him and could see our future together. God, I'm even crying remembering one time we took a blanket, went outside, and looked up at the stars like in some book. I never thought something like this could happen to me. The man I loved could have never done anything like that to me. By the way, this comes from Deleted, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, it all started about 2 months ago. His ex, high school sweetheart, together 7 years, moved back to our country and wanted to catch up with Mark, fake name. He told me they broke up because they were unable to sustain a long-distance relationship when she left to pursue postgraduate studies. They hadn't been in contact for about 5 years. She sent him an email, he showed it to me, and it was completely platonic. She was just curious about what he had become. He asked me if he could meet her, and I said yes. I trusted him. So he went, but when he came back, he was a bit withdrawn.
Wow.
Oof.
Wow. I mean, hey, I agree though. You gotta let him go if there's trust there. It's like you dated 7,
Yeah.
Or no, they dated for 7 years.
You should never go into, forbid people to do things. That's...
Well, if a guy walks into a cafe with his ex and immediately comes back and is like, I'm uncertain of everything, that's not a guy you want to be in a relationship with.
Exactly. Like, he should be able to walk into the bar with ex and be like, wow, thank God I'm not dating her anymore.
Yeah. What up, previous partner?
Yeah.
Emphasizing previous.
He's usually really chatty, but he was dismissive when I asked him how it went, etc. I let it go. However, the following weeks, he was often on his phone. He'd pick random fights with me and didn't look me in the eyes when we had spicy sleep. Didn't whisper loving words either. I'm really touchy and clingy, and in our 3 years together, he had never once recoiled or refused my embrace. But he started doing it. I usually hug him like a koala when he comes back home from work. I'm a bit childish, I know. But he only let me do it twice. It was such a sudden change. I asked him what was wrong, but he just said he wasn't feeling too good nowadays. Nowadays? He wasn't feeling too good nowadays?
Ever since I met up with my ex, I just haven't felt very good.
I feel like
us.
if someone told me I'm not feeling too good nowadays, I'd be like, do you need to go to the doctor? What do you mean nowadays?
Yeah, nowadays, it's like, it's been, how long, how many days has it been?
Yeah, I know. Because if you said I'm not feeling too good, that means like there's an end to that. But nowadays, it's like that could go on for a while. On a Saturday, I went to visit his grandma as we usually knit together. She taught me. And I was gone the whole day. I feel really close to her because she adopted me easily and reminds me of my own who passed away when I was in high school. When I came back, I found him packing his stuff. My whole world fell apart. He was being so cowardly. He told me he was sorry for making me suffer like this, but sometimes life gets you a second chance and you have to recognize it for what it is.
A second chance?
Girl, has she even said that she's interested in him?
Like, she must have, right?
Right? You wouldn't just throw away everything because you saw your ex once.
You wouldn't blow up your whole life for a thought, right?
That he loved me, but when he met his ex, he realized the feelings weren't the same. He said he regretted letting go of her, that he had found himself again, that it had been difficult, but he had to take this chance. His ex wanted him back. She realized what she'd lost and risked losing for good when he told her he was getting married. He supposedly refused her at first, but as time passed and they talked together, his old feelings came back. He hoped I would forgive him one day and understand. But also, I'm sorry, she asked him, presumably, told him that she still had feelings. And instead of cutting her off and being like, hey, I'm in a relationship, sorry, can't talk to you, he continued to talk to her until he developed feelings.
They were probably already there.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Or like just the notion of like this, like,
Yeah.
dang.
He was
if
a little bit
only-
interested if he kept talking to her. I cried as he was talking. It sounds stupid, but it was as if it was a stranger in front of me. He said he would still pay rent and part of the bills until our lease was up and I could find another place. He makes a lot more than me and I wouldn't be able to afford living in our apartment on my own. I begged him not to make this mistake, that he was being fooled by an idealized memory of their past together, that he was having cold feet, but he was like a wall. He didn't even look at me. At about 10 p.m., there was a truck outside with one of his friends waiting for him. He apparently came to help him move. I wasn't really close with that particular friend, but he did seem sorry for me. Mark hugged me goodbye and left. This man blew up his life.
Yeah, man. That's rough in the moment. That's super rough.
Yeah.
But you're better off.
Yeah.
Because what if he pulls this exact same stunt
When you're married.
about like something like about like kids? Like you guys have kids and all of a sudden he's like, oh, sorry, babe. I know it's cowardly, but I got to leave because life only gives you a second chance and I can't be a father or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
like if
it could have been a lot worse. Obviously, this still really
Yeah.
is like sucks and is awful, but
if he can blow it up like
Yeah.
this, he can blow it up in any other.
Yep.
He's able to blow it up flippantly.
I hadn't cried that hard in years. I slept in our spare room, not to feel the emptiness of our room when his things were gone. I sunk to the deepest pathetic.
The deepest pathetic.
The deepest pit of patheticness and
In
tried to call him, but it went to voicemail. I had no idea where he went, but assumed he was now living with his ex after 3 weeks of talking again. How ridiculous.
Yeesh.
That's embarrassing for him. To be clear, you've done nothing wrong. You're in the clear, and he's embarrassing himself.
Yeah, I mean, look, sometimes feelings about exes get real confusing and muddy, but like, you were ready to marry this woman.
Yeah.
Right? Were they engaged already, or had they just been talking about it?
I think they were engaged.
Oh
Yeah,
my-
I think this is fiance.
You blew up an engagement for your high school sweetheart?
Yep.
I mean, and look, I shout out to all the high school sweethearts who are out there because they listen to
high
this show.
school sweetheart who you broke up with,
Right. Exactly.
and then were in a relationship with someone else for 3 years.
So can you even call them the high school sweetheart anymore? Because
Yeah.
it's like, it's over. It ended.
Yeah,
Now it's like your
you're an adult.
engagement blow up
Yeah.
heart. I don't know.
I'm really lucky to have supportive friends and family. My best friend even moved in for 5 days. My parents wanted me back home with them, but I wasn't ready to leave. Mark is a bit messy and I'm manic, so it felt weird having everything perfectly neat. I missed his messiness. It was as if he was the one making our house a home. He used to joke about me wanting the house to look like it was on sale or in a catalog. Not waking up to make breakfast, not seeing him read lying on the sofa while I studied felt weird. Not buying his favorite snack or protein powders when doing groceries felt weird. Just get jacked at the gym. Be your own protein powder.
Start buying your own protein.
I felt really lost at first. It was like grieving. Usually when people break up, the relationship was going south, but to me it came out of nowhere. I still loved him. I was still planning the wedding and working on my side to build our future together. It was all gone in a day. I wished I had been smarter and refused that he meet the one that got away. But again, I mean, you can't say no. That would have messed up another area, you know? That would have hurt your relationship as well.
I think that there can be like a conversation, and if you do come to the decision, it's like, well, no, I don't want you to reconnect with your ex that you broke up with only because the distance was getting in between you guys. We're about to get married. It's like, it just doesn't seem appropriate. If you can have that conversation and it's like productive, like,
Yeah.
sure. But if it's like you say that and then he's like, well, no, I really do want to meet this person. Now you're kind of at a crossroads.
Exactly.
You either have to be like okay
Yeah.
with it and have the trust, or like be like, well, that's my deal breaker.
His family was dumbfounded. I still went to see his grandma, and she told me he was a fool, that he would come crawling back to me. She was the first person who managed to make me laugh.
Nice.
His mom, my mom, and I started making calls to cancel all reservations. Luckily, the store accepted to take back the dress. We didn't pay much for the location as we canceled early. Next was to inform the guests. He had been gone for about 3 weeks then. His family was furious with him, so they didn't contact him much. The only contact I had with him was the signed check he made to cover the wedding cancellation. However, about a week ago, I received a letter from him. He apologized for leaving me like this, said he made the biggest mistake of his life, that he couldn't believe what he had done, that he was writing me this letter because he didn't have the courage to face me. You were right. I was running after a perfect relationship that had never existed. I regret it so much. I thought I was in love with her, but in reality, I was in love with what she represented. My younger self with no responsibility and only dreams. I had cold feet and got afraid of moving forward into this new segment of my life. I couldn't stop thinking about you when I was with her. She's not you. She doesn't know me or love me like you. She doesn't smell like you.
Oh, this dude just figured out other people exist.
I missed hearing you sing randomly throughout the day. I missed having someone nagging me to pick up my stuff. I miss planning Halloween parties for the kids with you. At the time I'm writing this letter, we would probably have been decoration shopping had I not been a fool. Everyone told me, but I was a blind fool. I would do anything to go back into the past and slap some sense into myself. I would do anything for you to forgive me. I know we had already started canceling everything, but I'm ready to pay for everything myself. You can date someone else to even scores if you want.
Ugh.
As long as you come back to me. This is embarrassing.
What was that line about the deepest pathetic?
Yep, that's
guy
him. This
wrote
man
that.
dug underneath the pit and found out that there's even more patheticness that you can fall into.
It's like, you know how, have you seen those memes of like someone writing something that's just like on fire because it's so good?
Mm-hmm.
But this is the opposite, where it's so pathetic as he's writing it, it's just making like whomp, like sound effects as he's writing it. That is crazy. You don't, it is so desperate and so, again, just selfish. Just me, I realized that I did this, I did that.
I would write the whole letter, but I'm on my iPad and it's tiring. I just gave the important parts. He kept on with apologies and begging me to forgive him. Now, I told my family, left friends out for the moment, and his mom and grandma. Grandma had a very satisfying told you so moment. However, she's rooting for me to forgive him. His mom was supposed to send a formal letter to guests to tell them the wedding was off, but is now waiting for my answer. I don't know what to do. I love him with all my heart, but what he did to me, I don't know if I can get over it. He made me feel worthless. He threw me away as if I was no one to him after 3 years. He gave up on us for some ghost from his past when we were at our happiest. If he can leave me when we're doing good, how will we sustain a marriage?
Boom.
Will he leave the moment things get hard?
Mm.
He hurt me so badly and expects me to forgive him. He wants us to meet on Sunday, but I'm not sure. I'm willing to. I need some perspective. What would you do in my situation? And there is an update, but what would you do?
I'd probably go on Sunday.
I would absolutely go.
And I would just sense it out, sort of feel out what's going on with him. I don't think there's a universe where I'm getting back together with him anytime soon.
No,
like
and definitely not getting married to him.
Like if there is, it's like it's going to take a lot of work and you're going to have to rebuild that trust, but it's so fundamentally broken.
Oh yeah.
That I don't know if I'd be able to trust anything that he says, where he's like, "Oh yeah, I would never do that again," and I'll never. It's like, yeah, but
I didn't think you could do it this time.
Exactly. I didn't think you were capable of doing that ever in the first place.
Yeah.
So it's probably just it's gone over the cliff at this point.
Absolutely. No, I don't. I do think that you should go Sunday because I think that you deserve an explanation from him in person.
Yeah.
Where he defends what, or not defends his actions, but explains his actions. And at the end of that, I don't think this relationship can work out.
Yeah, no, I think you should definitely go to Sunday. I think that they already feel this way, where it's like this is not happening again. but just see what kind of weaselly, wormy little things he has to try to say to wiggle his way out of this.
Yeah.
And then just be like, hey, not happening.
Not happening.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me.
And also just like know his mom and his grandma, while they may love you, while they may, you know, think that you're great, ultimately they're probably more on his side because they're related. So
some people just root for like a situation.
Yeah. But I'm not even saying like they don't have your, you know, like they don't like you or they're, I don't know, just like working against you. At the end of the day, they probably have his interest in mind over yours. So like the grandma saying, "Oh, I want you to get back together." She loves her grandson. So just like, no, that's probably not your best interest. But there is an update. I didn't plan on updating, or at least not so soon, but I have another problem.
Oh boy.
So Mark wanted to meet on Sunday, but I unblocked him from my phone and told him I didn't want to meet. Oh, and to please not contact me anymore. He answered, "Please, baby, I need to talk to you. Can we meet another day? I know I effed up real bad and hurt you deeply, but I'll do anything to make it up to you. Anything you ask, I'll do it." Needless to say, it just angered me more. How dare he use terms of endearment with me? I just blocked him again after that. I met his mom on Saturday and told her to proceed with the notification of cancellation. We had an emotional moment, and she told me even though she would have really wanted us to stay one big family, she would have done the same in my place.
Mm-hmm.
She had hoped I would find the strength to forgive him, but she understands. And so the wedding is indeed still being canceled. My poor brother, I told him personally, had already bought his plane tickets from Australia, but got a refund. Well, maybe you guys could have hung out.
Well, yeah, you should have just chilled out, I guess.
I rearranged all the furniture in the house and bought new bedding sets to make a new start and moved to the spare room for good. It looks really different and I like it. Apparently he told our friends because some brought it up to me asking if we were getting back together but said they didn't want to side. On Sunday evening, I had a visitor. I never have people coming this late. Usually it was around 9 p.m. When I went to look through the peephole, I saw Mark with his ex.
Ew. So he again, he flip-flopped.
Well,
this guy, you gotta bring this guy to the beach because he's just a pair of flip-flops.
Maybe I see your conspiracy is that he's bringing the ex to be like, "Oh, no. Like, I am in love with you. See? Like, we're not getting back together, you know?"
No, I doubt it, dude. This
like,
guy's a
like, this is my
flip-flopper.
source.
Yeah.
I seriously had a moment of panic. He must still have the key for the main entry since he managed to get to my door without using the intercom. I don't know if it was a cowardly thing to do, but I just chose not to open it. I know they knew I was there, and I heard him ask me to please let him in, that he just wanted to talk through the door. Honestly, even though I feel better, I don't think I'm emotionally stable enough to deal with him, and especially him with his ex. They stayed about 15 minutes, and then they left. I thought he would get the message, but they came again yesterday around the same time. And I didn't open again. They waited even longer. I know I'm not being an adult, so now I don't know what to do. I feel nervous in my own house because I dread the moment they'll come back. He knows my schedule, and he came at the time where I usually come back from my Zumba class. However, yesterday was a holiday, so we didn't have class. I'm afraid he will come again, and I don't think I can face him. What should I do? I know I can't run away forever, but I need more time. And you will always have more time with us to listen to full episodes with stories just like this.
Yeah.
Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime.
You're gonna need more time because there's
a
12,
lot.
almost
There is a lot to cover.
1,300 hours worth
of
content to listen to. So
indubitably.
Indubiously.
Well, I'm not dubious about it.
I think it's a dubious amount of.
Yeah. It's like, wow, there's no way they could possibly have all of that. But
What would
it's true.
indubiously mean? Is that the opposite of dubious? Indubious?
So maybe there is no doubt.
Or would that be undubious? Anyway, this conversation is dubious. Let's
There's a little
do we
bit
have
more
any
to the story.
I mean, like, I don't think you have to wait for anything. Like,
No.
you need to be like bullhorn, like megaphone.
Yeah.
You are not getting back with me. It's over. Be gone from me.
So, unfortunately, I don't think that you could call the police on him, but I do think that you could text him or call him up and say, hey, I don't want to talk to you and your girlfriend or your ex or whatever. Leave me alone.
Yeah, or just you put a note on the door.
Yeah,
I
like,
really
I'm not
think you
here.
should call his grandma and have her be the one that tells him,
Yeah.
like, hey, leave her alone.
Sick
You
his
messed
grandma.
up. Yeah, because I think Granny will be able to, like, say, it's like, dude, you messed up.
Yeah.
And we all told you were being an idiot.
Yeah.
And then you did it. And now you have to live with your idiot decisions.
Literally. But there's a little bit left. Is this worth calling the police over? I fear it would make the problem bigger than it is and hurt our family relations. Our moms are really close, and really, he's not dangerous, I think. He hasn't contacted me enough for it to be considered intimidation anyway. Should I just be a big girl and hope in the next time he or they come, or do I wait it out? Also, why the heck is he bringing her? I'm curious, but I want to stand by my decision. And that is the end of the story for now.
I mean, yeah, this is if you have like a 2-door setup where it's like you have the inner door and the outer door.
Yeah.
Just open the door and be like, I am done. Go away. You can have him or not.
Yeah.
I don't care. Leave me alone. You come back again, I'm going to start figuring out how to get you charged for harassment.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, the family dynamics getting messed up because of this guy
Mm.
desperately coming around trying to convince you to take him back.
Yeah.
That's not you. It's him.
Nope. He's causing his own trouble.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, no, I think that you can, I think to a certain extent, you might have to face him a little bit just to tell him to stop coming and bothering you.
Yeah.
But yeah, seems like you're pretty set on not taking him back, which is good.
Yeah, and you should. It should be just a quick thing. Open the door a crack. Go away. No, not talking to you today or tomorrow or next week. Leave me alone.
Exactly. But that is the end of that story. So we're going to jump into the next one.
Indeed. My boyfriend is way too close to another model. She's his phone wallpaper.
Ooh, that is maybe his girlfriend.
Yeah, well, are you at least maybe the lock screen?
Yeah. Are you also a model?
I think so. Let's find out. So, my boyfie is a fashion photographer, meaning he works alongside many beautiful women in his profession. Stylists, hair and makeup artists, and of course, models. This is actually how we met. By the way, this comes from user xgirl on the phone. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, I modeled my way through college. And he photographed me after, like one of his French girls.
Mm-hmm.
After which, we became friends and eventually started dating. We have been together now for almost 3 years. I've since stopped modeling, but he is still a photographer. Never once in our relationship has he given me any reason to question his fidelity. With the exception of me, he has never dated or even befriended any of the models he has photographed. That is, until Rachel came into the picture.
Who's Rachel?
A model.
Of course.
I've met Rachel. She seems like a fun chick. The type of girl who draws a lot of positive attention just by entering a room. She's beautiful, but her personality really shines through. She makes you feel like you're her best friend when you're talking to her. A very cool person through and through.
Nice.
That being said, I'm not the only one who feels this way. My boyfriend also adores Rachel. The first time he photographed her, he stayed late at the studio and discussed ideas for their next shoot for nearly 3 hours.
Ooh. Nothing explicitly wrong yet.
It's a pretty productive
Long.
professional relationship, I would hope.
Yeah.
3
They're
hours
just doing
of
their
discussion.
job.
Hope it stayed pretty on topic.
Hmm.
He was actually late for a night out with me because of it.
Oh.
But
okay.
he's always had terrible time management, so I didn't think anything of it. The lateness has now become a steady recurring factor when they have shoots together. They hang out long after the stylists and makeup artists leave the studio. They also text a lot,
Uh-oh.
and he's always smiling to himself and laughing when he reads the messages she sends him.
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh is right, Raggy.
Ruh-roh.
Oof. At first, he would show them to me and try to include me in on all the fun without me asking, but he abruptly stopped doing that around 2 weeks ago. He tilts his phone away from me now when Rachel messages him.
Not great.
So
Not great.
I see two reasons that could possibly happen, right? One is clearly because it's like he's into Rachel and they're texting flirtatiously.
Flirtatiously.
The
Second
other reason
reason?
might be because he saw how negative you would react to the messages he was showing you, and now he's like, well, I just want to make it, I won't bring that up around. The more likely one, definitely option one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You don't tilt the phone and hide your phone unless you got something to hide.
Yep.
Something to be ashamed about, right?
Because also there's like a difference between for your second option, there's a difference between showing all of the texts and not showing them, and then also like tilting the phone away, like he could have just been like, oh, she doesn't like when I show her all these texts, so I'm just not going to show it.
Yeah.
But now he's like actively hiding them. So
Yeah,
that's
it's like, oh,
suspicious.
oh yeah, but
And
what
she's
were
like,
you
what
saying?
are you? What
No,
are
don't
you
wor-
reading?
don't worry about it. Don't.
She's
it's
like, I'm
nothing.
not texting anyone. I could see in your sunglasses that you're texting Rachel.
It looks like that, but it's Clash of Clans, babe. Back to the story. I'm not the jealous type, but if my boyfriend had a history of doing this with other models, I'd let it slide. The fact that he is only like this with Rachel and I guess me makes me wary of what might have transpired between them.
Oh, I was just going to say, you should also take into consideration how he treated you in the lead up to your relationship. Are there any like similarities? Because you guys said that, he started photographing you, you became friends, and then you started dating. So are you seeing a similar timeline in how your boyfriend and Rachel interact?
Yeah. What is the OP and Rachel boyfriend interaction Venn diagram looking like right now?
Yup.
How much crossover do we have? Rachel herself has stopped talking to me. We used to communicate and have an easy casual friendship via Instagram and Snapchat, but she pretty much ignores me now. Is it guilty conscience? I don't know. The real cherry on top is my boyfriend now has a photo of Rachel as the wallpaper on his phone. He's apparently proud of the concept and the editing and claims it has nothing to do with Rachel herself, which is totally believable but doesn't sit right with me.
No! What?
It is believable in a way. I know photographers who have pictures of people, pictures they've taken. In this context,
On their homes.
well, yeah, well, it's like people who take like headshot photos and they're like, this is like the best, this is the best one I've taken, or they just
On
like
their lock
people.
screen?
But no, it's like Riley has this for Angie. It's like he has like a
his
bunch
girlfriend.
No. I'm just listen. It's a bunch of different pictures of Angie.
I see.
So it's like
Yes.
I've
it
seen
cycles
photographers
through.
who it's like have a bunch of different pictures where they're like, these are my best work.
Sure.
However, given the context of the story, it is very unbelievable.
Yeah.
That it's just happens to be Rachel,
Yeah. Nope.
the girl you're low key obsessed with.
Nope.
Not even low key,
Yeah.
high key obsessed with.
He's pulling a me in college. It's like everyone's just a little bit in love with Rachel.
I told him that the Rachel photo wasn't sitting right with me, and he told me I was being irrational. Rachel is single, by the way. She and her boyfriend broke up around 3 weeks ago.
Which is when he started texting her and not showing you the texts.
So you be the judge of that. Yeah, I think we all can judge exactly what's going on here.
The timeline ain't adding up.
The logical jump is very, very small.
It's a very small, it's less of a jump and more of a hop.
I really don't want to fall into the jealous girlfriend trope, but what else am I to think? I don't want to make crazy demands and accuse my boyfriend of cheating on me, even emotionally, but he really does seem to be fond of this girl in a way that really hurts me. He has other female friends, and he doesn't act that way with them.
So she's not in love with them.
Exactly. We all know we all know what's
I
going
think
on
we
here.
all know what's happening here.
He's capable of being friendly with a girl without flirting or acting suspicious, but with Rachel, it's different. He has slowly become very attached to her, and I feel like I'm losing him. I have expressed this to him a couple of times, but he always tells me I have nothing to worry about and that he and Rachel are just kindred when it comes to photography. The long nights and constant texting and phone wallpaper mean nothing. Oh, by the way, she's practically unclothed in the photo, and it wasn't taken for any sort of publication, just for fun. Am I being irrational? Unreasonable? How would you feel in this situation, and what would you do? And there's a mini update. Oh, he and I are meeting for lunch in an hour. Extra mini update. He confessed.
Oh, there's the thing that none of us were surprised by.
Yes. I'm actually kind of
Oh.
surprised he confessed. It was
Yeah,
reading to me
that's-
like a guy who just was desperate to get her
Yeah.
to break up with him. Like, we've read stories like that. I just don't.
No, it's surprising
Get
that he had the wherewithal to tell her, I guess.
Hey, it all came. He couldn't keep the facade up any longer. Let's
Nope.
just get into the update. We all know exactly what's happening. Let's get into it. I'd like to address a few things. My boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend, has never taken a noodle or even partially noodle photo of me. Although I modeled in high school and university, my primary focus has always been stage acting. He took my headshots. That's how we met. Not that it really changes anything, but it's just a bit of insight. When we were younger and when that relationship was new, I would accompany him to his shoots all the time. But my own career is very time consuming nowadays. I know of multiple model photographer relationships where they accompany each other to every shoot. And I don't have anything against doing that, but I personally would rather just trust that my partner is on their best behavior. Obviously, what happened here kind of squashes that, but I do stand by it. If I have to be there in order to make sure my partner's faithful, chances are they'll find other ways to cheat.
Big time agree. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just going to get sneakier.
Exactly. There's no, I mean, it's not healthy or helpful to try and, make your relationship into like a backpack kid,
Right.
Like that kid's gonna escape if he wants to.
A backpack kid?
Yeah.
Like, in what way?
Like if you keep a leash on your partner. They're not-
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought I was just thinking of the guys who used to run through the hallways with like their arms out and like
Oh, no.
like they
Sorry,
would
different type of backpack kid. I'm
Yeah,
talking
no,
about like a leash kid.
like a
Sorry.
leash kid. Yeah,
That was
yeah.
the incorrect term.
I was like
Leash child.
Anyway, I'm flattered by the offers, but no, I will not be meeting anyone for drinks anywhere. Sorry for the bluntness. Just yeah. Now, here comes the good stuff, or I guess the bad stuff. I met him for lunch Friday afternoon. We went to our favorite sushi joint overlooking the ocean,
Sushi.
and I ordered more than I could handle,
Good.
stuffing my face while trying to decide how to broach the topic of Rachel, but most importantly, our relationship. I went into a meeting with a righteous, butt-kicking speech prepared, but I forgot every word of it almost immediately after we sat down. I guess he could tell there was something on my mind because he asked me if I was all right.
Dude, what?
Yeah.
I thought, wait, is this maybe before the confession? Do we think?
Yeah.
I think this is potentially pre-confession.
Yeah, this is pre-confess. Yeah.
Okay. I'm ready now.
So he asked me if I was all right, if he had done anything to upset me. Snort, yes, Ian. You've upset me very much, actually.
Ian, no.
No, Ian. As soon as I gathered the confidence to look him in the eyes, I point blank asked him, what's going on between you and Rachel? His mouth flew open as if he were completely and utterly taken aback by the implication. Rachel?
It's like, me and Rachel? And Opie's like, yeah. He's like, me in love with Rachel?
Me?
Me? Staring into Rachel's beautiful eyes? Me wanting to have 3 kids with Rachel? Opie's like, I didn't say that. Me wanting to marry Rachel?
I think you've said all you need to say, Ian.
Yeah.
God, what I would love if So his mouth flew open as if he were completely and utterly taken aback by the implication, but I cut him off with, "Do not BS me, you goof." I tried my best not to let anger get the best of me. I really did. I wanted to stay cool, calm, and collected like so many women on this sub. You know the ones. Those intense stories of cheating husbands where the wife takes to our relationships, garners a ton of support, and then updates us later with a well-constructed storybook post detailing the evidence she has collected against him and the meeting that she had with her uncle or sibling who just so happens to be a divorce lawyer. Yeah, I'm not a legend like that. I wish I were, but I'm honestly just an overly emotional doormat, and I knew going into this meeting that I was either going to cry or gouge his eyes out with my mind. Because I had somewhere to be later, I took a hard left and got super, super angry. He could see it in me, the anger bubbling over. The people in the restaurant were starting to stare at us too. In order to save face, I threw money on the table with a tip and told him to meet me in the parking lot. If I had me blade on me, I can't say for certain I wouldn't have channeled my inner jet and beat his shark butt to the pavement.
Okay, a little West Side Story.
Kidding, hey, kidding, totally kidding. No one's getting, yeah. No one's getting. We met inside my car. He climbed in after me, his head down as though he were ashamed or, I don't know, guilty. I asked him how, and he explained everything to me. No preamble whatsoever. The moment he met Rachel, he felt some type of way towards her. No way.
And this whole time he's been lying to you.
Mm-hmm. The girl you don't have to worry about.
He's like, no, you don't understand. It's totally platonic.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's why her boyfriend broke up with her.
Because of the thing that she's got going on with Ian. Well, birds of a feather flock together. He couldn't tell whether it was just a silly crush or something more, but he knew she felt it too. Oh my God, so cute. Barf.
Hope he's like, how cute.
They kissed the first night they met.
Oh, he cheated on you. Wow, okay. And then lied to you about it.
Cheater, pumpkin eater.
The whole time. Okay.
The night he nearly stood me up. That same night. They had crazy, emotional, forbidden, spicy sleep. The night she and her boyfriend called it quits. And they've been effing ever since.
Wow.
He mentioned that he always used a wiener wrapper with her, but I don't care. I'm getting tested.
Yeah.
Oh, and because so many people asked in the original post, I figure I should mention Rachel was the one who was broken up with in her previous relationship. I don't know why or how. I didn't ask, and I don't care to know. Funnily enough, Ian said he doesn't want to be with Rachel. He wants to be with me.
Oh, that's funny, because you should have realized that, before you cheated on OP.
That's crazy, because you've been with Rachel this whole time.
It's funny, because you were with OP,
You're like, you don't understand. I had to be with her.
To realize that I wanted to be with you.
Yeah.
And I also couldn't tell either, I couldn't tell you about that. Because then I couldn't be with you both at the same time.
Right. It's a delicate game. Well, you know what? It's basically the Game of Thrones I've been playing, which is a real cool thing. You should watch it, and then you'll understand. Watch Game of Thrones. He said he doesn't want to be with Rachel. He wants to be with me, and he even provided text messages to show that he's the one who decided not to pursue anything with her on official grounds. Except you already did.
You already slept with her.
Buffoon.
You
already did this.
With her. I'm sorry.
It's like robbing
I
the
decided
bank.
to not pursue anything on official grounds.
I know what happened.
It's like robbing the
you rob
bank
the
instead
bank.
of asking for a loan.
You rob the bank, you go back to the bank, and you go, I'm not going to rob you guys again.
Yeah.
Promise.
Not
I know
going to
what
rob
happened.
you guys. And also,
Can I get a loan?
thanks.
I've got a lot of assets now that I can leverage against
Yeah,
it.
can I put my money
They're
in
like,
the
those
bank?
are the assets you stole from us.
Like,
and you
no.
go, well, I'm not doing that anymore, guys.
You're
Why are we talking
welcome.
in circles? But I told him I give 0 Fs about what he wants. And unless he can go without his eyes, he should get the F out of my car and erase me from his mind before I erase him. I literally said that.
Girl. girl. Yes.
Girly. Yes.
Girly.
Please, queen.
Okay.
In any case, I went home later that day, posted an update for you guys on the original, and had a couple drinky poos. My friends and family and most of Ian's friends and family have rallied around me in support. I guess he told his mother we broke up and how it happened because she called me this morning and said she's disgusted with her son and that if I need anything at all, she's always there for me. For real, you guys, I'm going to miss his family. They are good people, the best people. This is my first real adult breakup, by the way. The type of breakup where you're required not only to break up with your partner, but with their family and friends as well. These people you've spent so much time getting to know and growing to love are suddenly not in your life anymore, and it's kind of daunting, really. Daunting and sad and infuriating all at the same time. So that's the conclusion to this story. That's what happened. Thank you again to everyone. And by the way, you'll be thanking yourself if you go listen to full episodes with stories like this on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search OK Storytime, and you've got almost 1,300 hours worth of stories to listen to.
So many hours.
Which is a lot of hours. Don't know if you're aware of that. It's plenty.
Plenty hours.
So we've got a little bit more story left.
Yeah.
You're going to be better in the long run, OP.
So
It's hard.
true.
You know, it is hard leaving a relationship where everything's become so intertwined. It's not easy.
No, never.
That'd be a
But
lie.
I mean, this man cheated on you and lied to you and only fessed up when you had to confront him about it after multiple times of being like, hey, I don't like, this is not making me comfortable. I don't like how close you guys are.
Yeah.
So he is not the one for you at all. And also, I'm pissed at Rachel because OP said that Rachel and her were kind of friends at the beginning of the story.
Yeah, they were like, oh, we get along.
Yeah.
Another model friend of mine.
Yeah, but from the beginning, Rachel's been, hooking up with her boyfriend.
Kissed her man immediately, night one. Dang.
But there's a little bit more.
Note. To the person who said violence is never the answer and I should have never threatened my ex, you're right. You're absolutely right. But if you're ever in a situation where your lying, cheating ex refuses to leave your car, the first dozen times you ask, I dare you not to lose your crap and say things you don't mean just so he gets the F out and doesn't see you cry. Microscopic update. So far, his mother, his teenaged stepbrother, and 2 male friends of his have reached out to me saying how disgusted, ashamed, and embarrassed they are on his behalf, on top of 3 mutual friends. It hasn't even been 2 days yet, guys. And that is the end of that story. Yeah, I think given the context of the situation, a lot of those friends and family will be more apt to take your side than his.
Absolutely. He cheated on you.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be too worried about like losing your connections because really he's going to probably lose them more than you.
Absolutely. And it seems like the one good thing he's done is tell the truth to his friends and family.
At least, yeah. At least he fessed up there.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine doing such a bold-faced lie. We're just right out of the gate.
Truly.
It's like she's your phone wallpaper and you're like, yeah, no, it's just, I like that shot.
Just
it's
to
like,
be
you're
so blatantly
insane.
Obvious that you're in love with this girl and cheating with her and then just continue to lie. Like, not even, like, he didn't try to hide it at all.
I won't even give him in love, dude. He's just
just infatuated, yeah.
Wouldn't even give him that.
But that is the end of that episode. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you and
see you tomorrow.